Welcome back. You don't need to know how long the gap is between recording the first video and the second one. You just need to know we're going to Kremwood Forest. And you also don't need to know how many times I played through Kremwood Forest to try to get something decent out, video quality-wise. Cool, welcome back to Donkey Kong Country 3. This is probably maybe not the worst world in the game, but it's kind of up there. This is like that part in a game where you replay a game and then you get to the part and you're like, oh yeah, I actually don't like this thing enough that I want to play through this whole thing to get to the other good parts. I think I'm good. Which means that I've played through the second and first world a lot, but not the whole game. Anyway, this is Squawks. I noticed in the first video I didn't really talk about a lot over what's going on in the game itself. I was just talking about like contextual things, which is, I don't know, good. I guess that's what people, you know, Donkey Kong Country canon and dialogue is very sophisticated, but maybe not the most interesting thing in the world to listen to. This is a tree level. These things, going into, I don't know, kind of the nitty-gritty of why I don't like the world in general. It's full of these tree levels. They're the worst. Mainly because, and I used to think this was like a Game Boy Advance thing. When it was like, oh, the Game Boy Advance is a small resolution, so maybe like I couldn't compensate, but like that stuff like that red zinger up there, like, they kind of come out of nowhere, and you get a little freaked out, and you don't really get a lot of time to react, and usually you just end up jumping into your death, which is what happened to me a lot the first time I played through this game. Both, you know, when I actually just played the game for the first time ever, and when I was reliving the experience of this video game. Well, that's a fun little barrel there, you don't much point to it, but sure. Some bonuses that I'm gonna avoid just because I've played them enough times and they're not very interesting to look at. Most of them are gonna be green banana bonuses. I'm gonna try to be better at explaining what's actually going on with the bonuses themselves, since there may actually be people who don't know what's going on. We're almost done with this one, though. God bless. Or not. Maybe we're not. A fun little thing, oh, that red TNT barrel would have actually been really useful to take out the red zingers. Like, I don't remember if red zingers were totally unkillable in Donkey Kong Country 2. I'm pretty sure they were, but in this game, red zingers can be killed by TNT, so there's no zinger that's totally invincible. Although with how uncommon TNT barrels are, they may as well be. Oh, this is a... Oh, I guess we'll go into this bonus barrel, sure. Why not? Okay, well, I don't have to explain this one. This one actually is the worst if you screw it up once, because you don't have a lot of time. I think you have to be Dixie to do this. Like, if you don't... Doing it with Kid Aid is just not a good idea, I guess. But I think it's good because it just takes you straight to the finish, or very close to it, at least. There's some slowdown in the game sometimes. That's not me recording the game, that's just because the Game Boy Advance could not take Donkey Kong Country 3's raw Super Nintendo power, so that's normal. I thought it was recording at first, but it's not. No, I'm not gonna go to Cranky's Dojo yet. Now, I mentioned in the first video, woof, the two things I remember from DKC3 is getting scared by Kitty and getting scared by bees. And most of that revolves around this level. I think as a child I never got past this level, or at least this world, because this stage is the one that I have the most vivid memories of, and that's because it scared me like the baby I was and still am. It's pretty simple though, actually. If you just keep... This is a Sonic the Hedgehog stage. You push right to win, which is a very dishonest comment from me, because I know Sonic games are not actually like that most of the time, but it's what I gotta do to appease the gamer crowd that watches these videos, #gamers. Sometimes the bees get close. If they touch me, I will get hurt, and that's no good, but, like, they're actually not that hard to outrun. And this actually has a speedrunning component to it. This is a speedrunner's favorite stage, because they put in a timer, much like Spelunky's speedrunner mode, or whatever that mode is called. We want to get below 1 minute and 15 seconds, which I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. I made it. Cool. So that's good. We'll get a secret cutscene out of that later on in the world. But let's not worry about that right now. Right now, this is probably... Would I say this is my favorite stage in the world? It is. It is a cool stage. It's like puzzly, not really, but it's very DK. It's something that you would probably see from Donkey Kong Country 2, opening some doors by killing some rats that are running through these doors. It's neat. There's nothing really complex about it. No one's going to write a think piece article over it. Not that I know of anyway. It's just very straightforward. Does make me kind of go into more about where the stage is, or where the world is at though, because, like I said before, this isn't my favorite world, and the fact that the best stage in this world is me going, I don't know, it's okay, then that should paint a pretty good description of how I feel about it in general. The only thing I don't like is being able to tell when you've hit everyone, and I'll go a bit into that after this stupid, this brainless little thing. I don't know why I'm being so harsh, because this is still like very early on in the game. Later bonuses are much harder. There's no reason I should be complaining. But yeah, the main problem is knowing when you've gotten all the rats, because I can never tell. Some of these bars that change color, some of them will go all green, and some of them will turn all red when the doors open, and it's just kind of inconsistent. There's a bonus up here. We may as well go up it. I don't think it's an annoying one. Actually, I think it is. I think it's a banana one. Yeah, it's a banana one. Okay, so the banana... This is like a new type of bonus in these games. And if you need anything that points to, like, Rareware being like, G-Boss, I don't know, throw some garbage in there. I think the banana mini games are a good example of that. That was actually a pretty sober view on that stuff, but we'll definitely see more reasons as to why they're actually terrible. Oh, good. As to why those banana mini games are terrible later on. Good, great. I'm glad this is happening. Perfect. Okay, see. So now it's a little bit green. Up. Let's just turn that over. And it's set off into segments, those bars, but I don't think the segments actually... I don't think they mean anything. Do I need Kitty to bring this over? I don't remember. I've played through this stage like 5 times in the last week, but no. Oh, not yet. Okay. Yeah, I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't like Donkey Kong Country 3 is because it's kind of a... You could see a lot of early signs of the Rareware that will be in our dark future. The Rareware that is now, essentially, from N64 collectathons, which I don't have any knowledge of. I've never owned any of them. I tried playing DK64 once, and I was like, this is garbage. And now it's all, like, sports games. I don't know. I like sports. To a certain degree. I like feeling like I worked out. Oh, but this is the coolest part of the stage. This is why this is the best stage in the game. Check this out. Okay, so this is the end, and now everything, these trapdoors, you fall in and you're like, boom, bam, got him. Bam, now you're back at the beginning of the stage. This door is open now. Isn't that super cool? Oh, man, and now we get this guy. This is like the first animal buddy where you're actually like... I don't know what the right word is. I want to say handicapped, but that doesn't sound right. Like, basically, this bird can't hurt anything because it's a dumb bird. But if you let it live to the end, it gives you a prize. Nope, no secrets there. Let's move on. Cool, that's Squeals on Wheels. Here's the other tree level. This one's actually better than the one with the hoppy spiders, which I didn't really talk about at all in depth. Because instead of hoppy spiders, you have, where are they? Here we go, these dudes. They throw acorns at you, because, I don't know, they're bad. And in the Super Nintendo game, they made like these cool monkey noises when they threw stuff, but I guess that was too much for GBA, so now they're just quietly throwing their acorns at you. The tree levels, that's another reason why I don't like them, alright? And I'll talk a little bit about music. The music in the tree levels in the Super Nintendo version was actually really cool. I had like a cool like bass to it, but here it's like this song, and I'm just not into it. I hesitate to use the word kitty, because what could make you sound any more like a stupid 13-year-old than describing something as kitty, but that's really the only word I can think of. Anyway, I completely just skipped that level because I don't like it. Now we're gonna watch a secret cutscene because we speedran that 1B level. So this bear, I guess, he's a speedrunner too, and we just beat his PR? No, PB, his PB. And it's been on for 2 years, which is pretty good time to hold the PB. He's pretty proud of it. And in this version of the game, this looks weird because he's just like angry, and he's like, "Oh, I'm angry," and then a plank of wood just comes down a river, which isn't very good. In the original game, like the screen would shake and there was like boom, and then the plank of wood fell down, and it's like, okay, so he made an earthquake happen. But in here, he's just like, I don't know, he scared a plank of wood into making a new path for you. And we'll see what that's about after this stage. This stage is really cool too. It's kind of like Slippery Slope. That's the name from DKC2. Except better. I think this is better than Slippery Slope. Actually, this might be the best stage in the world. You got that piranha plant. He's just a piranha. You got this piranha guy trolling around in the water. If you jump in, he'll just get you. He's invincible, and there's no way you can really kill him that I know of. So you just gotta stay afloat with barrels, and this is actually where we see a lot of the cool stuff Ellie can do. Oh, well, I just totally messed that up. Like, Ellie doesn't just like get scared of mice. She can like shoot water from her snout, which is kind of neat. And we saw her pick up barrels in the last video, I'm pretty sure, but this is just, you know, just making more use of that. I didn't have to kill that bug the way I just did, but that's not a real big deal. And, yeah, it's a cool puzzle stage. Not really a puzzle stage, it's plenty of ways to solve it. These, like, not oasis stages, but like, I don't know, forest stages outside, they're all pretty good and like unique. Like the speedrun stage, there's this one. Unfortunately, the third one doesn't come in until the last world, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Just too bad. I really like the aesthetic here. Whatever. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Okay. So this bonus, this is like a one or done scenario. It's got a trick to it. You gotta wait for these dudes. They're like, oh, we're gonna fly now. And you gotta use physics to get into that bonus. So let's see. Boom, boom. Oh, I did it! Oh my god. I've screwed up like the other 4 times I've tried. Oh, I don't know what's in this bonus at all. What do I have to do? Oh, good. Okay, this is... Alright, cool. If I didn't make that jump into the bonus, then I would have had to restart the level, because you could only make it in after dropping in from a certain height, much like you would in real life. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was cool. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. One thing about this piranha, unlike Slippery Slope or whatever that ice level in DKC2 is, this dude is a lot slower in actually biting you, so even if you do fall in, there's still some room for error. Yeah, I said that right. There is room for error. Good. I think that's it. Nope. It's not it. Cool. I think there's like one more pond to go through and then we're cool. Cool. Up. Nice. Simple. Going through it. Not a problem. I think I've cleared every stage as Dixie. I have this thing where I like... Well, I'll go into that later. This is what getting this plank of wood does. You get to get a banana bird, but I'm not doing that stuff because it's stupid. I'm just gonna go straight into the boss. This guy is... I mean, he's just a big spider. Maybe a relative of Squidder, but I doubt it. He's kind of... I would say he's mean-looking, but he's not really even that mean. He just looks like a grumpy spider grandpa, and you just mash barrels in his face. Reminiscent of, what's that boss fight? Both of the Zinger bosses in the previous two games. I know, at least for the Queen Zing Sting fight, or the Queen Bee fight or whatever in DKC 1, I would just use Donkey Kong and jump into the Queen Bee a bunch of times until I won. So, that's that. Sometimes he spits out like this green gunk at you. Looks like, I don't know, Play-Doh, much like everything else in this game, but it hurts, so... The most annoying part about it is if the green Play-Doh runs into your barrel, because then it blows up, and you have to wait for a new one, go through a whole other cycle. Cool! Yeah, alright, let's get a Band-Aid. This is going to be very helpful for us in the future. Cranky Kong says some stuff that Cranky Kong would never say, but it's 2004, I think? 2005, so video game characters aren't allowed to be mean anymore. That's Kremwood Forest. Next time we'll go to a much better world, and hopefully I won't be recording it 5 months after this video. Bye.